Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is going to be a beta run. The beta patch in question is version 6100. So this patch is a big one. So we're not sure how many of the changes that are currently in this patch are going to make it to the wild. So if you're watching this after the patch actually goes live, because I do record beta patches, then I just only share them with people who are in the beta until the patch goes live. But if you're watching this after the patch has gone live, there are probably a lot of things that will be different. Aside from anything else, there are quite a few bugs in this patch because lots of changes. It's a beta. These bugs are, if I spot a bug during this run, there's a very good chance that I'm going to immediately report it, so it will definitely be fixed by the time you guys are actually playing the game, again, unless you are one of my fellow beta players. So I've looked through some of the cards that changed, but I haven't looked through all of them. The gist of it is, in general, things that aren't card draw got cheaper and card draw got more expensive. Some other things got rearranged, but that's the short version. Because the idea is to try and move towards a meta where it is less important to be running 5 to 6 mana cards and actually make it more feasible to run 4 mana cards for more characters for more decks. But so, like I said, I haven't really looked at all of the changes. I was going to run a Paladin summoning deck, but summoning turrets is just straight up does not work on this current patch. So in the meantime, I kind of want to try Shah'Ru and see what happens to Shah'Ru. Shah'Ru is the newest character, so it is likely that fewer things have changed for them than have for other characters, just because they were the most recently balanced. So their cards will be the closest to what is likely to be the sort of goal balancing. One of the big things here is I do need to make sure I am reading all of the things, because everything can change. I'm not sure. Let me check real quick if any passives have changed. I don't think they have, but I want to check. Those are all the same, I think. Those all look the same. Those all look the same. Yep. Those are all the same. Oh, I heard that charge up changed, but I haven't seen how. Let me check real quick what charge up does now. Oh, there may not be a way to see that from here. Let's see if it shows up in the collection. Okay. Okay, so it now gives you mana if you're supercharged. So it'll still be a skill, which means that if you are supercharged, you won't get, it will use up one of your energy to get that mana. But the fact that these are now able to be cashed in for mana once you're supercharged is a pretty huge change. And the upgraded version is 4 mana. So that is a massive, massive buff to Paladin. Because that will make some turns where you would otherwise not be able to supercharge much better. And it's worth remembering again that Paladin has the thing where you create at level, especially with this level 7 passive, where you create charge up when you reach 0 mana. So you could theoretically use that to bounce up and down from if you have a bunch of like 2 mana cards, well, 3 costs before the supercharge, and you've got a bunch of energy, you can use that to burn through some stuff. All right, so yeah, those all look the same. That's whatever with those. Wrong buttons. There we go. So we're back in this deck. Let's see. Start by looking at. Okay, so one of the things I know changed. Plundering Focus got nerfed into the ground. You now shuffle the treasure into your deck, which means that you no longer get free bonus cards on playing Plundering Focus. Plundering Focus was incredibly powerful. It probably deserved this nerf, but it is still worth mentioning. I may or may not end up running it. I probably will run one because I do want to try how it feels now, but we will see how that works out. Crypto is now 0 mana. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's now 0 mana that used to be. So the gist of the change is that previously, when One Day was figuring out how much a card was worth, he would start with a base value of 0 for a card, and then so for example, if 3 damage was worth 1 mana. So if a card does 6 damage, that's worth 2 mana. So that's going to be 0 cost. Or sorry, 6 damage is worth 2 mana, which previously would have been a 2 mana card. What this meant was, because that wasn't taking into account the fact that you have to play a card to get it, you know, under the old system, a 1 mana card that does 3 damage and a 4 mana card that does 12 damage would have been considered equally balanced, even though the 4 mana card that does 12 damage is much stronger because you're only spending 1 card on it. Now, the value of simply playing a card is considered as being worth 2 mana. So every card starts with 2 mana worth of value and then gets and then additional cost adds on to that. And then on top of that, some things act as a modifier. So for example, Void Bolt, I said that 3 damage is 1 mana, so you would think for 0 mana I would get 6 damage, but the discard 1 lets it get additional mana worth of value, so that's why it does more damage. And for this one, creating an exhaustion in your discard pile gets you more value. By that metric, I think Quip Shot is a little bit overpowered right now by that metric. But costing Wits is a pretty big downside since there are relatively few Wits cards overall. But anyway, let's figure out what cards we're putting into this deck. Start with Tricky Focus. I'm thinking what else I want for mana. 1 Gamblers is pretty reasonable. At least 1 Focus seems reasonable. Oh, Follow-Up Strike being free is interesting. We may end up using one of those. Is Virulent also free? I doubt it. We'll see. Because like basically every card changed this patch, so a lot of this video is going to be me figuring out what cards do what now and where the balance is at. I normally run Resolute, but I don't think we can justify Resolute in a Shah'Ru deck. I think we'll do Gamblers, and we'll do maybe the second regular Focus. So Blade Idol now only costs you 1 when drawn or discarded, 1 mana, which is actually very good. Rummage didn't change, but Void Visions did. Void Visions is now draw 2, discard 2, but you only get Wits 1 when it's discarded. I think I still want 2 Rummages, because I still think that's better. Reckless Chase is now only 1 mana, which is bonkers? That seems crazy talk. Poison Darts also seems very, very, very good. Let's see, what is Virulent at now? Yeah, absolutely, we'll play a 1 mana Virulent Strike. So, like I said, everything that isn't draw got cheaper, and things that are draw got it more expensive. So, let's see, try and find the actual outright card draw. So yeah, like Introspection didn't change cost, but Sadistically is now 6 mana. Vicious Retort now only draws you 1. But I think because we have all of this extra, we should have extra mana to work with. I think we can afford Sad Glee now because we just get such a savings on our other cards that we can make up for it. I think we may want a Fey Barrier just to be safe. Well, it's also tempting to run a Ferric Rhyme. Fey Barrier costing 2 makes this even easier to use to actually play for shield, which is nice. I'm just trying to think through if Focus is actually the thing that I want here, or if I would rather have, actually I think we would rather have Infected Focus, which is gain additional mana for poisoned enemies. And we'll see how this goes. Yeah, this all seems reasonable. I kind of want to fit Void Visions in. It's possible we could afford to go down to only 4 mana cards because the Sad Glee is the only thing that costs more than 2. I am thinking I also do want maybe another way to go up on cards with the Tricky Focuses, but I could be wrong. That may be fine. We'll start with that and we'll see where it goes. Forbidden Rites I think is still in. Let's see where Shah'Ru cards are at now. Eviscerating Strike, I think at 2 I will play it. I think Phase Mark is now more tempting because now that it's draw 2 outright. Aerial Stratagem I don't think changed, and it was already very good. Handful of Knives is now cheaper. That seems incredible. Faeruz seems incredible. Forbidden Knowledge somehow didn't get nerfed. It's incredible. This didn't get changed, which I think, relatively speaking, makes it maybe a little weaker, but probably still very good. I would absolutely take more Reckless Charges at that cost. Man, I might take an Execution at this cost. I think I put one in the pool. Yeah, that card's still good. I don't know that we would take more Fey Barriers. I don't know that we would take Blade Idol. Irritating Dust at 0 mana is still unappealing to me. This at 1 mana feels just bonkers. We'll see how it ends up playing. I think increasing mana is good. I think Renewing Array is tempting. I don't think we quite want it. I think Spry Vigor is probably good. I think Benevolent Idol could be a handy thing to have. And Ancestral Memory is now draw 4, discard 3. So it is now net neutral on cards, which I think makes it more tempting. We'll see if we end up running that. Yeah, Phase Mark we may run. I haven't decided yet. Demonic Power is also at 2 mana is very, very tempting. Especially at 3 health, 3 shield, because that is an amount that we can sustain, I think. And then from there, Mystical Bloom didn't change, but it's still very good. So that may be our last card. Aether Storm is now 4 mana for 3x4, goes up to 3x5 for 3, which is pretty good. That's actually very tempting. We could also just like take Sanctity, which is now 1 mana cheaper, but you only draw 2 instead of 3. But you still get the Cleanse and the Curse, which is pretty good. Arcane Silence is fine, but not really a Shah'Ru card. Rupture Strike is also very tempting because Shah'Ru obviously does gains a lot of powerful. Firestorm, like I said, there are bugs. This just, I don't remember what that does now. Don't know what that does now, but both of those are just victims of bugs. Battle Ready being free is interesting. I think we probably would run Battle Ready at free. Sorry, we still need to figure out one more epic. There's a lot of competition for this. We may not want the Benevolent Idol just because we've got other things we want more. So I think we are trying to lean into this aggressive list, which I think makes that a little less tempting. Deciding if Mystical Bloom is worth it. I think Aether Storm is. I think we can afford it. This is now much weaker. Vampiric Strike got nerfed pretty hard. It's still a good source of healing, but it's no longer quite as incredible. I think we add Sanctity just as a safety net, and it is still decent card draw. I don't think we want Cultivate. This still seems good. Hunt still seems good. Mana Ritual is not amazing. Precarious Draught, Predator's Focus, those are both good. Secret Cache is still good. How we're doing on mana cards, that's pretty good. What happened to Adaptative? It's now only +2 mana. I think that's still pretty good. Yeah, I think that's flexible enough to be worthwhile. And it does way more damage when you play it in damage mode. And I think we still want Blazing Ritual. And we may not need as much mana, because as mentioned, a lot of cards have now gotten cheaper. I am kind of just grabbing cards based on habit. This is my first run with the new changes, so I'm not totally certain what I'm going to want and what I'm not. Pernicious Idol seems okay. I don't know that this is the deck for it, but we'll see. Stinging Strike at 2x4 seems solid. One of the big things is Ambushed is now no longer a thing you can get really at all. So that's very important to know. I think Treasure Map is bad now, but I kind of want to try it. I think that may still be worth it. I'm hesitant on Treasure Map. Trying to go to the card draw we want. Absolutely, we'll play 2 mana for an Arcane Strike. Absolutely, we'll play 2 mana for a Contemplate. That seems very, very, very good. And I think probably Brainstorm is just going to be our last card. Trying to think if there are any other cards that we would want to include here. Bombardment might be good because we are stacking powerful. Warcry is probably worth it. Over what becomes the question. And I'm not sure what we would cut for. I think Pernicious Idol is not necessarily where we're at. I would rather have Warcry. So I'm not sure if the balance on this is quite where I want it to be, but got a name for the deck. And sure. But yeah, that card pool, if you look at it, we are now topping out at like 4 mana. So we may not need all this mana. We'll see how this goes. See market. Oops, that's not the thing I meant to buy. Don't really need Magic Plate. Don't really need extra max shield, but we'll take it. Okay, let's see how this goes. Blood Charm seems very good for how I play Shah'Ru. Shock Robes isn't bad, but I think Blood Charm is where we're at. I think finding card draw is going to be the trick. I happen to know this. I don't know most of the changes, but I know that this one is very good. Give me a moment. All right, but so mana font unupgrade. So mana font plus is still gain 2 mana, draw 2, but regular mana font is now gain 3 mana, draw 1, which means that unupgraded is now better. And since I have sort of gotten in the habit of not bothering to upgrade that, that's actually pretty good. Consuming Flames didn't get changed, but it's still good in burn decks, bad elsewhere. Flaming Strike is a little bit more tempting, but I still think I tend to not to like it most of the time. Escalating Onslaught, if we were playing it multiple times, I'd be a fan. Flash Brawn seems like it could be good. Okay, so these just got cheaper, it looks like. Impale is a little bit less damage, but being completely free on mana is insane. We may want to path into that. This didn't change and is still incredible. This feels worse, I think, relatively speaking. This is still about the same, it's still probably very good. This is probably fine for Shah'Ru. This is obviously good. Free Impale seems very, very good. What are these cards? Okay, that just is more arcane. This one changed a lot. If you're not self-applying status, it becomes much, much weaker. But if you are applying status, it's weird to me that it's reduced all by 1. But the potential of this being, you know, draw 3 is pretty good. So if you're building that deck, it's fine. But this does mean that it is no longer a crazy combo with... This actually, I think this existing makes Gambler's Focus a lot more tempting. Just because that helps a lot with just getting some incidental value. This is still good. That's still good. That's still good. That's still good. This has been Vulture Fire clicks through and tells you things are good. The simulator, the video. That's fine. I don't think that's amazing. I know that I like the 2x2 there, but we're not going that path anyway. So it is basically just a question of whether I think this Free Impale is worth more than this Mana Font and the Extra Elite. And I think the answer is the Extra Elite is worth more. Although that Elite is a Frost Elemental who will be kind of a pain in the butt. Alright. This is kind of an unfortunate hand. Because we don't have anything obviously that we can do about most of these enemies. But we do get to at least kill that one, which means that we get to get 1 powerful stack. We get to evade the incoming hit. And now we're in business. Okay, let's hit. And I think now actually I should have done that first, but... Alright, so now we need a little bit of mana. Yeah, downside to getting all of our mana up front is that it means that, yeah, we are struggling a little bit. I think we pitch that, because these two will kill... let's do that to get poison up. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Okay. That went well. Contemplate seems amazing. Forward we go. Yeah, I think we are on... This will be our Blood Charm turn. Pitch that. Yeah, because this will now kill that one. And we can get lots of damage out. Yeah, still partial that we can, I think, get turn 1 kills. We are just kind of dependent on finding our card draw at the right times, which we just didn't draw the card draw early last time. So last time or this time, because both of the time, because we are contemplating and are sadistically, we're both far enough down. So I think we take, we're going to need more mana at some point. I think we take the 3rd piece of card draw to just have it. And I think we take the Scimitar, just to have the extra strike damage, because we do a lot of strike damage. Okay, let's get that going. How much do we care about getting shocked is the question. I think we are going to do that this turn. Okay. All of our mana is in the bottom of our deck. So what would really help us is if we could get the we could get, you know, both the card draw and the mana together. That'd be pretty nifty. Love to see that one. So I'm trying to think how we get, if the reactive shiv is going to kill outright. I think it will. What's left in the deck? It is another tricky focus. I think this is worth it because that gives us an extra reactive shiv. And then I think we might need that. We'll see. This is not quite lethal there. That is lethal. I should have done this first. That is lethal, and then that means that moves back there. Okay. So that was a lot better. Hunt seems good. Flash Brawn seems very good. I'm going to try Flash Brawn. We'll see how, if it ends up being as good as I want it to be. We are definitely now at the point where I have overextended on mana. We will need to find additional mana at some point. I don't know if we can afford to play tricky focus right now. So we need to kill this, which we do have enough to do with just these, which is the important thing. Yeah. And we can only do that because of Flash Brawn, so that was pretty good. That Flash Brawn was worth, I think, enough there to justify it. Let's draw, pitch that, always. We're not quite too lethal with that. And now we are. There we go. So yeah, not quite to turn one, but definitely not feeling weak. Did we take the hunt? No, we took the Flash Brawn. Was thinking in terms of this, because this is more tempting if we don't have the hunt. I still think we take the Ferric Antics. I may cut the Fey Barrier. I'm not convinced we won't need it later, though. I'm kind of tempted to cut a Rummage. Yeah, I may regret that later, but I think for now, based on how we're sitting, the Rummage is kind of the most awkward card we have. Okay. So we want to get poison out on you. Depending on what we draw here, going to decide whether or not we Blood Charm. Okay. We're going to have to be satisfied with that much mana. Okay. Okay. Bleed on you, kill you. What's on top? A Reckless Chase? I think that's worth it. I think we're pitching... Those two. So here's the plan. What's a plan? That's the plan. So that's going to kill you. And we'll just hit you for a bunch of damage and be fine with this shade. Yeah, that seems okay. So it's going to take us 3 turns to get through this fight ultimately, but I think that's fine. Do we gamble on this? What's the price of failure here? I think the better question is, what is the value of success? And I think the answer is, it is not worth gambling on that Sad Glee right now. So we definitely need more mana to support the Sad Glee, but I want more mana anyway. And we don't need that to get all these kills. I probably should pitch the Rummage, because I think... sorry, I probably should pitch the Reckless Chase, because I don't think we are at a point where chasing makes sense. Although I suppose we had super lethal there, so it didn't matter. I would take a Knives. Alright, no Knives. Do I reroll? I think yes, because if I can get a... Well, but Aether Storm is very good. If I take Aether Storm, I think I'm priced into upgrading a mana card, but I don't think I hate that. I think I'm fine with taking this and upgrading a mana card. If I re-roll, I am looking for... Well, re-rolling gets me the new mana font, which I think is actually kind of the perfect card for me right now. And Forbidden Rites is even better. So, yeah, I think we take the Forbidden Rites here. That seems very good. I think we upgrade... let's see, Reckless Chase is very good. Ferric Antics Plus is still very good. Some of the upgrades changed as well. So like this one now, you are still net neutral on cards, which actually makes that quite a bit worse. Just looking through all of our options. This doesn't get an extra card now, which is because drawing an extra card is no longer something you can get up for just 1 mana. This one goes to draw 5, discard 3. That's interesting. I don't think it's worth it, but it's interesting. I think we upgrade one of our mana cards as we kind of had originally planned. I think it's Gambler's Focus. Gambler's Focus or Infected Focus, I think. Infected Focus is a little safer. We'll go with Infected. And then I think we're moving on. I'm debating whether I want to take this fight or if I just want to take the event. There's only 20% chance we get an upgrade there. I think the event probably is about a 20% chance to get an upgrade as well. That math comes to you courtesy of my butt. Okay. Let's get cards that way. Absolutely, we'll Flash Brawn. Let's get Bleed on everything. Would we play Flash Brawn again? I think we would pick up Flash Brawn and just not play it. I think that's actually fine, because that lets us basically get these for reasonably cheap, which I like. And we can go bonk bonk, get our Vengeance. We're now shocked, but that's kind of irrelevant. By kind of irrelevant, I mean extremely irrelevant. We're just going to get kills here. We just have way too much damage. And now we have plenty of evasion here, so we don't care about the bleed. So still on a turn 1 kill. Deck isn't quite operating as well as it used to, but I wouldn't call this going poorly, so. I think we shed one of the Forbidden Rites. And we can just do this all day and it's fine, even if it's not necessarily the most useful thing we could be doing. So this one's dead on its own. That one's now dead. That one's now dead. Dead, dead, win. Okay. Spending lots of time thinking when we have lethal in play. Predator's Focus is very good, but I like having the Faeruz. I like having the Swift Boots. And yeah, so this is... Okay, that was an upgrade chance, but we just didn't roll the upgrade from that. I don't actually know what the odds are on those events, but... we pitch that. And we are probably going to end up shocking ourselves here, which I think is fine. Right. This is a kill, which actually is nice for us. We are going to... Oh, I should have done that first. We can afford to lose health here. We're pitching that and the Reactive Shiv, because we'll get back the Reactive Shiv. Let's get Leech out on everyone. Let's draw some cards. Okay. See, unfortunately we do... So this is the downside to Infected Focus, which is that we do have to find our Virulent Strike to begin getting the Envenom out. But once we do, it is very good. We're pitching that. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we just have lethal here, because this kills that one, this one's already dead. We can get back some of our health from Leech. Yeah, our one downside here is that we aren't getting back a lot of Leech health, which is a reason to pick up healing later. Forbidden Knowledge is great. Duplication Tome is still amazing. I think the run is about to... I think the run feels like it is very, very close to just kicking into complete overdrive. This is an unfortunate fight for us just because we don't have... especially like with this hand, we are just going to have to lose life to fighting our way through. But I think that's fine. I think we aren't actually going to have that many problems fighting our way through. I think this is going to do most of the work we need. Ah, so close. Trying to think if there's a way for us to get to... Not really. We do just have to eat this, unfortunately. This is a little bit of an unfortunate spot. But that kills you. Should have played this so that I could get that off. Oh well. We do get to evade all these hits. Yeah, I said that things were looking good. The big issue, as always, is like we just have to chain together the draws, the card draw stuff properly. And if that doesn't happen, then we can just end up in a bad spot. So I think, ideally, our plan here is that we, use this on one of these guys to get out as much damage as possible. Kind of want that back. Let me think. We're just contemplating. Yeah, that seems good. So we want the shivs out of that, but so our problem right now is that that's just going to kill, so we don't get the poison. But we get a decent amount of mana anyway. I think we're going to bring that back and then just pitch it immediately. And I don't want to pitch the Shah'Ru yet, I think. I think we don't want the Forbidden Knowledge necessarily either. Okay. So let's eat up our leech. This actually works out very nicely. And then, we can just get this kill. Yep, that all went very well. Increasing mana is probably pretty good. Eviscerating Shiv is or Eviscerating Strike is also a decent choice. We're not taking Curse. Yeah, that seems okay. We'll see how that works out. That seems incredible. And then I think we may want to upgrade the, where is it? The Shah'Rus, just so that we aren't bleeding out health as quickly. And getting the extra Shiv isn't a bad thing. And we're moving on. I might need to upgrade the Sadistic Glee just to make that mana a little bit easier, but it should be fine. Dragon Form got nerfed into the ground. Like, it was probably too good. So the important thing here is Dragon Form Plus is now 10 mana. You do get back 4 if an enemy is shocked, but just like, it's now a beating. You just can't justify that anymore, I think. Lightning Community did get buffed slightly, but we aren't going to be on the shock plan, so it's kind of irrelevant to us. Oh, I should check what cards do now. That's whatever. This is still very good. That's probably the one we want. Wow, that's a lot of shield. We don't care. Oh man, Delayed Burst is now very, very good. Again, I don't think we care for this deck, but well, we might. Hunting Trance got nerfed slightly, but it was very good. Still very good. This is okay, I guess. That's actually fine for us. I don't think it's good as Flash Brawn. That's unchanged. That is largely unchanged. I think it's like slightly more damage, or it's slightly cheaper or whatever, but that's mostly not important. This one is, well, I guess it gets additional poison on a crit. That's okay. Mystic Ritual's unchanged. Wait, no, I lied. It is now only draw 4, and you apply 6 Arcane instead of 8. That's still very good. I think we still want one. This still seems bad for the bleed, but this still seems very good. I think we go this route. I think that getting, I think there's a lot of stuff here that we want. Did this card change? Yes, it's now only 1 mana. That is now 0 mana to play. That seems very good as well. Oh, that is now 4 mana, but it gives 18 Arcane, which is decent. That's unchanged. That I think is more shield, but I don't remember because that's not the card you take from this fight. So we'll start here. Okay, Flash Brawn first. And that. And we're going to Forbidden Knowledge. That jerk's dead. Yeah. That thing I was talking about where we keep accidentally killing everything we want. Okay. So now we have this. Can poison you, get a bunch of mana. Bring that back. Oh, that's not the thing I meant to get back. I'm not very smart. in my head we were getting back the, because if you don't discard it with tricky focus, you can't get back whatever, because it gets it back, because the thing that does the discarding ends up on top. I think we may just copy the reactive shivs here. That may actually be good enough. I think now it definitely makes sense to copy reactive. Well, no, what we're going to do is we're going to discard that. And then we're going to copy bleed shiv and reactive shiv. This is going to do a murder. And then that's going to finish it off. There we go. That was very clean. This is a tough choice. I think the cheaperness of Forbidden Knowledge is worth it. But having more draw that's not tied to summons is nice. We'll take the Mystic Ritual. I want to see how it performs here. I think it is worth it. I think it is still going to be very, very good. Yeah, we can't. Oh, the other change that I didn't mention is you start with less mana, which is something I keep forgetting, but it has absolutely been a factor so far. So you now always only start with 2 instead of half of max mana. And so the reason we have 4 right now is because we get 2 per turn. 2 per turn. So we're going to discard that. It's going to give us those. Oh, whoops. I thought I had more space in hand. We do not have Envenom up yet, which is unfortunate. This won't quite kill even with the Leech proc. Oh, I should have done this first. Forbidden Knowledge is on top. I think we get back Forbidden Knowledge, and then we pitch those two. Trying to think. We have enough space in hand for that. I'm trying to figure out how we get to Eviscerating Strike. I think that's a good place to do it. And then I think we do actually Duplicitome, the Serrated Shiv, and I think Forbidden Knowledge, because there's a decent chance we end up needing the draw. There's now a lot of bleed on you. You're now dying. Alright, there's poison. Poison. So I'm actually going to do this first so that we can use Scroll of Recall. That still seems very good. So we can bleed you, which will get us poison. We need to claim that leech before we win, so we can get at least some health back. Unfortunately, that's going to be the only leech we're going to be able to claim. But it's fine. We end up very close to perfect health. Mind Sap seems good. Brainstorm also seems good. I think we just take the Mind Sap. I would love to have the Devouring Strike, but that just wasn't offered. I may juke right here. It's a question of whether I think the chance of Deadly Sting... Well, because it's a 50-50 shot either way, this is probably the better choice. This fight is still annoying because you still have to deal with these jerks, but I think it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Let's see. That helps. It's kind of an unfortunate hand at this point. This helps because we do need to get this Contemplate back to be able to actually do anything. I think we pitch. I think we're still on the business like pitching one of those. Let's see, we have Envenom, so we can get out one there. Unfortunately, we can't get out on these two because of the evades. And it's going to take us a little bit to work through them. So, let's kill you. Trying to think through how we get to where we want to be. I think we Duplicitome these. Yeah, because that's going to get that kill, which is what I want. Pitch that. Draw more cards. Okay, there is the Shah'Ru, which is going to go great with our eviscerating strike. So now we go bleed on you, leech on you, leech on you, eat our leech, eat some leech. Gonna have to summon again, unfortunately. I probably should have. Trying to think. This is gonna summon another one. I think that's still worth it. So now we just have to kill this one, which unfortunately we can't get, but we do have enough evade, so it's just gonna die. Not quite immediately, but basically immediately. This is a little bit awkward. Because obviously I want to avoid having to lose any extra health if I don't have to. There we go. Precarious Draught still seems good. It's a little bit risky, but I think it's worth it. This seems very good for just making life a little bit easier on us in the self-damage department. And I think we're still going here. Well, we're doing pretty good on mana. I would really like this Devouring Strike. Do we need it, though? Not with the Vindictive Aura, are we done, I think. Okay, let's draw a few cards. There's this again. Still causing a little bit of problems. But we can now way more safely play these. And that also has the benefit of turning on the Mind Sap. So I think we want to summon, so we can get poison on it. So we can get, I think this is as much as we're getting out of these. You're dead. Let's get a leech on you. Damage. Okay. So the trick here is still figuring out the best way to take advantage of the cards I have available to me. Just gonna fill up my hand. Yeah, that seems good. I think we're pitching that. And now we have just a bunch of very upgraded shivs. I think I want to put I think I want to copy the bleed shiv. So that's why I'm not going to play it yet. Let's upgrade. Let's copy these two, I think. I'm just going to go bleed, bleed, shiv, 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 eat, eat. Okay. And leech is now far less important than it used to be. I really like the idea of having the Noxious Focus. I think that does a lot for us. I don't have anything I want to cut, really. I think we're just moving on. We'll see how this fight goes. This fight is... I shouldn't have pathed into this fight, because this is one of the annoying ones where we don't have any space to summon, so we're probably going to end up having to take a lot of damage to our own passives. To things that are like, if you can't lose health. It's like, we're going to lose 10 health here. Let's draw more, because we can. Yeah, I think we're going to need that mana. Discard that. We do have a bunch of Temporary Powerful for this turn, so we need to find some shivs to go with it. Yes, we have enough space in hand for that, because that changed. Okay. I think we're pitching that. And then we need space. We don't have space in hand for this. I think I'm willing to get one of these out, because that lets me play this, which lets me play this, which then is going to let me play Eviscerating Strike to upgrade just everything. And I can copy the serrated shivs and get out just so much bleed. You're bleeding, you're bleeding, you're bleeding, you're bleeding. You're leeched, you're dead. which turns on tactically. We can use that. We can draw some cards, not care. Because we should be able to just chonk through everything that we summon, I think, without any problems. So we can do that, get a lot of mana. I think we want to do this, pitch those two, draw more cards. Yeah, we've got this. And there we go. That was a turn one, I think. Yeah, I think New Aether Storm is going to be very, very good for us. This does nothing, really, but I guess it's a little bit better than passing. I think it's a little bit better than discard. I think Aether Storm Plus is probably the upgrade. Well, we save mana, we get an extra hit. I think Ferric Antics is better because it gives us the extra shiv. I think we just kind of want more shivs. This is also very reasonable, and Forbidden Knowledge is also still incredible. Did we upgrade the other Forbidden Knowledge? No, we only took one Forbidden Knowledge, just thought we had two. What is this upgrade now? Oh, draw. Apply 12 Arcane to yourself and 7 mana. That's, yeah, that seems unfortunate. I think we may cut the Fey Barrier. I don't think we need it anymore. Because we get plenty of evasion from killing the Shays that we summon. Is Mindset Plus still the same? Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I think it is the Ferric Antics. And then we're going to cut, like I said, the Fey Barrier, because I think that is the least important card now. And then, yeah, I think we're going left. We are hitting this and that. This is another fight where we do have to kill stuff, and it has the bonus fun of being a Drake fight, which is annoying. But I think we should be fine. It's just going to take a little bit of struggle to get through. That, I think, helps. Yeah, it definitely does. So plan is do that. Duple Tome the Bleed Shivs. You're now bleeding. Start chunking through the evade on you. Let's do this actually, because now we can actually just get these killed with these. You're dead. That's going to be good. I think we want to do this first. And then, unfortunately, the mana here actually works out just wrong. We're going to go and do this just because that's going to kill. And then, now we just have to kill this one, which should be simple enough. Okay. Let's do that. Noxious Focus is on. Flash Brawn. This gives us 3, so it's going to put +4, which is going to take us to 9 cards in hand. Now we discard 2, which is going to replace with 1. So it's going to put us at 8, so we're not going to have quite enough space if we do that. So I think we play this outright. And then I think we actually are going to do that. I changed my mind about what exactly I was doing. Okay. Pitch those two. Okay, we can get out at least 1 bleed proc there. And then we can get heal back to full with the Vindictive Aura procs. Blazing Ritual is good. Surprise Attack seems good. I think we'll take Surprise Attack. Draw some cards. Draw more cards. I think for a change, the next thing I'm going to do is probably draw more cards. No, I'm going to discard some cards, and then I'm going to draw more cards. I'm actually going to, I guess, have to make some space in hand first. Boop, boop. And now we'll draw some cards. Okay. So now we need a lot of space in hand. I think we just have to play these for minimal value, unfortunately. And then Tricky Focus. I want to use Ferric Antics, but we don't have space in hand. Sadly. Guess we surprise attack. And then, oh, we don't have enough space in hand to duplicate him yet. Playing that doesn't do anything for us. Tag you. This one doesn't matter which ones we play, as long as we don't. And we're going to do this. Spend all of our life. Summon that in, which is going to give us plenty of health. And this is going to do quite a bit of damage, hopefully. So we can draw back the surprise attack. We don't have enough space in hand. Just keeps coming back to the lack of space in hand. So we're going to do this first, which is going to do quite a lot of damage. I should have gotten this out, even if it meant not getting this duplitum out, but yeah, I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, it's fine. So, good news, Shah'Ru seems to still be functional. Arcane Strike is still tempting, but I think this is actually a really tough choice between all of them. I think this is the weakest. I think Vindictive Aura means that we don't need any healing, which makes this a lot weaker. Arcane Strike is okay against this one. Arms Race is pretty good, though. It is draw, and it can draw us into our Reckless Chases, our Virulent Strike, all of which are pretty good. I think I like Arms Race. I think we probably upgrade Arms Race if it hasn't changed. I don't know if it has. That would matter if we cared, but we don't. We're just going to discard that and move along. Oh, right, event. Stay hidden. Oh, nope. We did not get the bonus Chimera fight there. It's unfortunate. All right. Fight time. I mean, it's always fight time, but it's real fight time now. That's a great place to start. I think this is a little bit of an awkward hand, because I do really want to find more card draw. I guess I have that. That'll help. I don't really need to use this yet. Actually, sure, we'll use that. See what we draw. Probably gonna duplicate Brainstorm and the Rummage, which aren't my favorite, but I think we just kind of need the draw. So we can, I don't think we can afford the Sad Clay, unfortunately. I think we want you to be bleeding. This is probably going to draw us the Abyss rating. Yeah. Still fine. I'm deciding what I'm discarding to that. I think I just may discard this. I want to get Poison on you for the extra mana. And I want to draw more cards. Ooh, okay, so this is interesting. We now have, we can afford the Aether Storm. If we can. That changes things. Does that change things? Maybe it doesn't. I mean, oh, we already used the Duplicate Dome, duh. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. The man here is a little bit awkward again. Because we want to play this Eviscerating Strike, but we also want to, that would upgrade our Shivs, which means they would be free. What's left in our deck? Noxious Focus, Feyruz, okay. Okay, so we're gonna do this, that. Oh, I didn't think about that happening. Okay, that messes up my math. Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Well, I guess we're doing this. Hey, that is actually, the Arcane Detonation on this is actually, we don't care. Oh, that is going to actually, I said we don't care, it's actually going to mean that we take a little bit of damage here. Should finish with that, so we need at least a little bit of health back. Yeah, that ends up being fine. Dragon Form is not bad. We may or may not need, well, Forbidden Rites isn't that bad. Worst case scenario, it is. I think it is better. It has the same worst case scenario as Spire Vigor, which is that you just gain 2 mana. But I think the upside on it is higher. That helps with Aether Storm. And then I think we upgrade I think it's time to upgrade for Forbidden Knowledge, probably. For the card draw. And we are moving on. Okay. We're fighting Maw, which I don't think matters. I think that we are just going to brute force our way through whatever we fight. I think we do want to go through this fight just because it's a little bit easier because we don't have to deal with two enemies that we can't move. I think that we don't really want to deal with Corrupted Paladin unit if we spawn that fight, but we'll see. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Let's see. I think that's not the worst idea. It's not the best idea either, but should end this first. Okay, I'm very happy to see this. So we're duplicating those two. We're unfortunately not going to get any mana out of those. The mindset, we need -2 max shield so that we can hit 0 with the, because that's not max shield. Do we have any plus max shield stuff? I don't think so. But yeah, like we actually need minus max shield for value. So we need to kill at least one of the, we want to see if we can kill something. Because if we can get more damage for these, which is nice. We are at -9, so this is actually going to put us, this is actually perfect. So yeah, let's do 1, 2. Alright, so that'll give us the extra powerful rank that we want. And then this will do just quite a lot of damage. So yeah, not a perfect turn one, but we end up with 3 powerful and a decent amount of damage done to all, and like 100 damage to both of the actual enemies, which is not bad. Far from perfect, but not bad. I should have done that first. It's fine. Don't really want to pitch mana. Maybe Sadgly is, well, Sadgly's not bad, it's just expensive, but it does pretty good when we can afford it. So I don't know how to rank that. So whatever we pitch, we can get back with Ferric Antics, but if we pitch a whatever, I think we are pitching Brainstorm. The main question that I'm trying to figure out that I haven't figured out yet is whether when we're playing the Eviscerating Strike. I think we're pitching the Gambler's Focus actually. I think now is a good time to Eviscerate. Space in hand is always an issue for this character. That shuffles. We don't have anything to get back right now. Boys on you. Boys on you. Draw some cards. This still draws, that puts too many cards in hand. Because this puts us up to 4 cards in hand. I think that actually is fine now. Yeah. Absolutely going to pitch that Brainstorm and react. Oh, that was one of the upgraded reactors. I should have discarded one of the unupgraded ones. Let's draw some cards. Right. See, the big thing needs to die. Probably should just focus it down. So I think we can. Yeah, let's pitch one of those, see what we get. Okay. Yeah, Flash Brawn is the only way we're hitting Scroll of Recall, so I think we need to do it. And then, so we can actually do this, which is fun. No point in tagging there because that's not going to kill. I should have been tagging this one because I forget that this thing bleeds and that we can... I didn't think about that interaction. That's my mistake. So we are... Okay, it didn't multi-attack, which is nice because it means that we didn't end up taking as much damage as we could have. We still have 2 bleed on us, but that's not the worst. And then I think... actually do that. Which... We take a little bit of damage, but I think it's worth it to get out all of this. And there we go. And at full health. Yeah, that fight was messier than I would have liked, but we got there. Stinging Strike is fine. I think we probably just take the Brainstorm. I think just card draw and mana is where we're at. Going left. So, Spike Shoulder Pads got nerfed. You no longer guaranteed get the strike. Get the bleed is now a chance per hit. But that doesn't mean that multi-hit attacks can apply multiple bleed. So Reckless Chase can apply potentially additional bleed, but it has a chance of applying none. If you get really unlucky. Alright, we are Cursed Appling. Okay. Flash Brawn. Forbidden Rites. I think this should kill... I think we're going to Duplicitome here. So we have more card draw. We're going to pitch that for value. I think it's just a little bit of extra mana. And then we are just going to do this, which is going to get us 2 more powerful. And it's going to miss repeatedly because these guys are what they are. Get a bunch of that. We can pitch that. Sure, we can play Vulnerable. It's not going to matter. Nothing matters against their evasion. But we have to try, dang it. We have to try. Okay, so you're dead. And you are basically going to be dead. Fortunately, reactive shivs can just get through there because we get to hit the poison. We get to trigger the debuffs regardless. Yeah, Precarious Draught. Just keep going, I think. Yeah. And away we go. So this next fight is going to be one of the ones where it's like if we mess up and have to end a turn, we are in a lot of pain. But we have 125 health, so I'm not too worried. Okay. I think I actually want to start with this. And the reasoning here is that I'm going to want to Duplicitome my card draw to be safe. Yeah. I was thinking I wanted to get out stuff, but I can't. See, Mystic Ritual, we do have no space in hand, just barely. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Arms Race. Bonk, bonk. That's turned on. We can make all of you weak. We can get extra mana and remove the rest of our shield, because we don't need our shield. We're not cowards. Okay. So we're going to get bleed on both of these so that we can get out as much mana as we can. This one's going to die if we play enough extra cards, so we just need to play enough extra cards. I have to decide what we're discarding to the tricky focus. Alright, what's left in the list? Yeah, there are cards I would want to discard potentially. Actually works out perfectly in terms of hand space. Oh, no, it doesn't. I did not quite get all of my value. Oh, that's fine. I think Reckless... Yeah, I think Reckless Chase is not happening at this point. We're going to start with this. Do Eviscerating Strike. And then I think we're good. Yep, that's lethal. Favoruse is still very good, especially with the other stuff we've picked up, because it's just free damage. This is very good. I happily pass up a little bit of crit chance in exchange for that extra +3 damage per hit. I haven't been paying attention to whether or not we've gotten any of the whatever procs out. Let's see what we get out of Cursed Apple. Okay. So what then Do we duplitum? I think we don't yet is the answer. Mana, here's nice. Okay, so the nice thing is we now have enough mana that we can safely, or we now have enough health that we can do that without losing any health, which is nice. Alright, so we're out of card draw, which is unfortunate. Probably not going to be able to kill this turn. Let's get that out first, I think. Okay, so we got to bleed the proc that I just didn't notice. I think now we are going to duplicate the serrated shivs and just get as much bleed as possible on this friend. Because you're dead. And now bleeding, 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 bleeding. Leeched, leeched. Super poisoned. Yeah, we're not quite going to get this kill, but we're going to get very, very close. And so now we just have to finish off what's left, which shouldn't be too bad. All of these. You're going to explode, so that's fine. Let's get poison on you, poison on you. Vengeance. Kill. We could actually play Sad Glee again, so we probably will. And then that's lethal. Okay, yeah. Vindictive Aura definitely has helped a lot here with smoothing out how this run has gone. Second Eviscerate Strike isn't the worst thing. Are there any things we would want to reroll for later if we don't take this? I think the answer is no. So just do we care more about the mana or... Oh. It's been a little bit since we took a mana card. I'd take increasing mana here, I think. And then we upgrade. I think the Favors Plus has been doing good work, but I think Arms Race Plus is even better. It has not been changed, so that's good. And then I think we are moving on. Let's see what's here. Yeah, I don't think any of this is what we're looking for. That might be worthwhile. If we end up fighting... What we have is very good, is the problem. But this could help us a lot if we end up doing the Paladin fight. I think we need this if we're going to fight Paladin. So the question is, what do I give up? I think I would give up the Scroll of Recall because we haven't been able to always hit it. And I could regret that, but I think we're going to need that against Paladin potentially. We only have one more chance at it and we didn't get it. Oh well, so that was a waste. We should have kept the other thing. Upgrade is still fine. This upgrade is still fine. Upgrade is probably better than I gave it credit for just because we do so much damage. That upgrade is actually not bad just because it draws us more cards. So I think our upgrade choices now are between Aetherstorm and... Show a surprise attack? No, I don't care. It's between Aetherstorm and Faeruz, I think. Maybe. Because I do just like getting all those extra shivs. It has been occasionally clumsy to get enough space in hand for them, but I think that doesn't matter. I think we upgrade the Aetherstorm. I think I would like it to be just a little bit stronger. Debating whether or not I'm even going to bother the rest once we get to... before the... whatever. I think I may duplicate these two just for safety. Let's do... Of course, you evaded both of them. Let's see if we can get out any hits. Okay, we got a hit. Turns that on. We can Faeruz safely now. We can Cursed Apple for exactly 10 healing, which is fun. Okay, let's... Alright, that's actually pretty good. We have exactly enough space in hand for that, so we can go Bonk, 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 bonk. I should have done that first. I don't really want that back. I'm just going to pitch those two. So I think we have lethal. So. Alright, that worked out well. Next fight is another one where we can't summon early, which is annoying, but I think we'll make it out. And yeah, like I said, I may not bother even resting before going into Maw because I'm just lazy, and we can't get any value out of max mana now, and I think our items are pretty good, so. I think there's a ton of reason for us to bother with resting. This isn't actually as bad as it could be, because we do have, we are going to duplicate it, just to be safe. Okay. Pitch the mindset. So the nice thing about Shah'Ru's is that it is free, so like even if we have to end up actually playing it, we don't really care. Our hand is going to get overflooded with treasures pretty quick, which is a concern that's going to be, that we do need to think about coming up. We're going to play that now because we want to get that out before we curse staff. Oh, we already healed back enough, so I don't really want to do that yet. This will hurt us, but I think it's worth it. Okay, now we're going to do that. And there's a mana card. And we don't really care at all about being shocked. It's just not a concern for us. We really just want to get one of these jerks killed so that we can start summoning. Oh, that helps a lot. Because that means that we can now get 2 strikes. We don't really have the shivs in hand for that yet. So this is going to kill and then immediately summon in its place, which is fun. Okay. Tap you. Gets a little bit of poison there. We cannot afford this, unfortunately. We are working with a relatively small amount of space, which is unfortunate, but very good argument to be made that I should have played one of those. Okay, let's get vulnerable out. That seems worthwhile. And this will fill up our entire hand. So the nice thing is this will poison everything, which is fun. We can also just poison everything this way. Oh, I was holding this to use with it, and then I just forgot, and yeah, I'm dumb. It's fine, this will do quite a lot of work. And that's, yeah, I can kill that one. Only had 1 ship to upgrade, but you're dead. You're gonna be dead. We can't afford to play that. Don't care about that. And there we go. Okay. Nice and clean. Yeah, both these are still kind of tempting. I think we take the Arcane Strike. I think that's the more tempting of the two. Extra max hand size, I don't think is worth giving up 3 strike damage, but otherwise I would. Use the reroll here. Ooh, I'm curious how this interaction is going to work. So, okay, it does say chance to apply bleed on strike hit plus 60%, so that's good. And yeah, we're just not going to bother resting. We're lazy. This is an unfortunate hand. We're going to see if Cursed Apple can get us out of it. Okay, I think we just do one more. Okay, so it's not what I would like to see, but it's what we've got. I'm still not quite wanting to spend my Flash Brawn just yet. Let's see what that gets us. So just living on the edge. I think now I am going to duplicate that and the Ferric Antics. Let's get the powerful. We are now committed to just going in this turn, I think. Start by pitching the unupgraded one because we just make sure we have space in hand. Okay, so looks like we're going to be able to pull it out. Bit of an awkward start, but I think we now have the pieces we need. Pitch those two. And then just very quickly play out one of those that we have space in hand. Two of those we have space in hand. Alright. Summon in again. Pitch. I think one of the leeching shivs at this point. Let's do the reckless chase, which might be a bit of a waste. We can theoretically get to this potentially. So I think we're going to pitch one of those. We're going to hope. All right. Got him. And now I think we are done, unfortunately, on getting additional things. I should have been throwing these out probably sooner to get out the extra bleed. I think let's start with getting more damage out. That's going to do quite a lot. Really, I should get out more of, if that's a little bit more damage technically, so we'll do that first. So yeah, we are not quite going to turn one Maw. We are just going to have to pop our Frozen Bauble to avoid taking too much damage. Slightly awkward opener, but I don't think it went too badly. I meant to use this and I just forgot because I was tapped out taking screenshots. I don't think we care really. Just draw a bunch of cards. Alright, we can flash Brawn again. So that's going to put us down on health, which I don't love. I'm debating if we start with this or if we just accept going down a little bit on health. I think we're going to pitch that. And now we'll pitch the... I should have gotten rid of the unupgraded Infected Focus. It's easily our worst mana card. Okay. So now we can play that safely. Let's do this actually. And now we'll use this. Okay. What's on top? Aether Storm? Yeah, I think Aether Storm is worth it. Let's get back Aether Storm. Pitch a Faeruz and a Leeching Shiv. Lose a bunch of health. But it's fine. Oh, I should have used this. I'm very clever. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Draw, draw, draw. Discard that. Just do this to get all of our upgrades. And then yeah, this gets us effectively the kill. So that lets us set up for this, which will be lethal. And let me make a note real quick. Alright, so that worked out. So yeah, having both those bleed items helped, definitely, but I don't think they were anywhere near as huge a part of the run as they would have been otherwise. We unfortunately never found a handful of knives. That is the card that we really would have liked to have had. But other than that, the deck felt largely the same. Like I said, I think it maybe a little bit weaker, but mostly just as good as it ever was. So, Shah'Ru is balanced now. We did it. So that is obviously the run. I will see you guys next time for probably more beta stuff. Although beta videos, there's no telling how I'll end up uploading them because sometimes I'll rearrange them to, because there's sometimes stuff I want to get out right as the beta shows up. So we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.